Hey neighbors, and happiest of holidays to you for all the people who do the 4th of July. Paul is here. You might hear him because he needs all the attention when his mommy is busy. He's okay. I have dirt and stuff on my nails. I'm outside gardening and doing 1,000 other things right now because this is how I work. And I've come to realize that if I just do little bits and pieces, it'll all get done. Today's video is going to be about divine timing. The thing is, you guys, I used to think that divine timing was like an answered prayer, God coming in and boom, making it happen right then and there. But I didn't recognize just how much I played a part in it. You see, I don't have to say a prayer and wait on God to bestow his wonderful things on me. He does that every single day. I get grace, mercies, you name it, every morning. However, I found myself constantly waiting for something to happen. Don't get me wrong, God makes you wait, patience, all that other stuff builds character. But there were things that I knew that I should be moving on, but it's just like, when is it going to happen? Whenever you're ready. The thing is, what a lot of us do is we go out there judging our lives and our actions by what we think we are or are not ready for. And the issue with that is divine timing isn't just readiness. It's your preparedness meeting your readiness. And there's where the issues were coming in for myself and a whole bunch of other people. You're ready for a lot of things, but you're not prepared for it, because every circumstance, every person, everything that God has brought your way to prepare you to be ready for that divine calling, that living that inner plan, you refuse to do it. You won't go out on the date. You won't accept the new job. You won't do any of that stuff. And a lot of it is because we won't humble ourselves to get in the position to be prepared for anything. Again, most of us are saying that the end goal is this, I'm going to shoot for that, or I'm not even going to start trying to get there until I see that the end is in sight. And it just doesn't work that way. A good chunk of us are not experiencing God's timing simply because we refuse to get prepared to do so. I'll give you an example. Peter 5:9, I think you can go there and look it up. But it's basically you have to humble yourself before the Lord and he will exalt you in due time, basically. And I had a friend of mine who graduated from college, wanted to go to the top layers of the bank, and had this particular bank in mind. It was like, no, it's going to take me too long to do what I need to do there. Let me go start at a smaller bank and work it out. Long story short, about 4 or 5 years in, they just kind of recognized that the smaller bank thing wasn't working. They weren't going there, and they might as well go back to that big bank that was intuitively in them to go ahead and start there. They applied at a lower position, and within 6 months, they were promoted to the position that they always wanted to be in. That's one of those things where God has to prepare you, and he did. He got prepared at that other place, and he was ready to move into a better position, even if it wasn't he knew he needed to be there. And so when he humbled himself and said, okay, it's not going to work my way. I'm not going to sit here and kill myself trying to do this. I'm going to go over here and get it done. Then God said, okay, now that you're prepared and you're ready because you're in the right spot, here it is. There are some of us who are doing just that. We have this idea of, I have to have this, and nothing else will work for you until that. But God's saying, hey, listen, I got something else. Intuitively, you know I do. You're going to have to humble yourself, get into position after you prepared yourself, and then boom, what you're ready for will become available to you. The other part of that is that we don't move until we do think that we're ready. And it's hard to be ready until you're prepared. Well, especially, you guys, when it comes to relationships and dating. And this was my thing. I had to recognize it just wasn't the right time. I particularly cared for this human being, and I would have loved nothing more than to just prepare, to be a decent human being in their presence. And that was really it. But they were so focused on what they were and were not ready for it. Nothing could take place. If they weren't ready for it, we couldn't do anything. Couldn't go anywhere, couldn't be around, couldn't do anything. So there was no preparing taking place. And without preparation, we're never going to get there. That's when I had to realize it's just not the right time. There's a season for everything, to plant stuff, to grow stuff, to tear it up, move it on. God says that too, and this is one of those. I gotta go. And so, yes, you guys, a lot of times in life, you're gonna run into these situations where you're judging it based off of if you're going to move forward, if you're ready for something, if you're seeing it, God wants you to prepare for it. If you have seen the job, God wants you to prepare for it. If you have seen the significant other, God wants you to prepare for it. If you have seen the house you want, God wants you to prepare for it. And so be on the lookout for the things and situations, circumstances, that God is creating to prepare you for what you need to be ready for. Because once you are prepared and you're ready, that is the time that it will take place. But what so many of us do, and myself, and I wish I knew this sooner, is that we refuse to prepare. We refuse to actually engage with the life circumstances that are there to prepare us, because this isn't going to get me to where I'm supposed to go. It's not meant to, honey. It's just supposed to prepare you to be ready for getting there. That's it. That's all life is. And so again, divine timing isn't God doing that. There's elements of that, don't get me wrong, but it has a lot to do with your position, your posture, your humility, your readiness, not just being ready, but actually being prepared for what you're ready for. And there's where we have to start living our lives. And I'm getting prepared for this mode. So again, if you have seen her, he's trying to prepare you for her. If you have seen the job, he's trying to prepare you for it. Nothing is impossible for God. There's no such thing as space and time for him. So he can do it whenever you're prepared and ready. Have a blessed day, you guys. Happy 4th of July. I finally remembered what day it was.